In 2026, Chery confirmed something that should make Toyota very, very nervous. The Chinese giant announced that its most extreme off-roader yet, the Jetour G700 Top Fire, is heading to the Middle East, not Europe, not South America, not Southeast Asia, the Middle East. And if you know anything about the car world, you know exactly what that means. Because the Middle East is not just another market. It is the spiritual homeland of the Toyota Land Cruiser. It is the one place on earth where Toyota's dominance has never, ever been broken. Not by the Americans, not by the Europeans, not by anyone. And Chery is not sending an ordinary SUV into that territory. The G700 Top Fire is something the industry has rarely seen from China. A factory-customized desert weapon. A machine engineered from the ground up for sand, for rock, and for 50-degree heat. Race-grade suspension, a reinforced chassis, 33 upgraded components. A ventilated bonnet designed to survive the hottest summers on the planet. All of it built, tested, and warrantied by the factory itself. No aftermarket, no compromises, no excuses. Think about what that means for a moment. Car companies do not build a specialized desert version of a flagship for a market they hope to enter quietly. They build it when they intend to conquer. This is not a car launch. This is a declaration of intent. For decades, Chinese brands have been told the same story. You can sell cheap city cars, you can sell budget crossovers, but you will never, never touch the serious off-road market. That market belongs to Toyota. It belongs to Nissan. It is protected by something money cannot buy. Generations of trust, forged in the harshest deserts on earth. Chery's answer? Fine. We'll meet you there, in your desert, on your terms. So in this video, we're going to break down exactly what the G700 Top Fire is, why its 904 horsepower hybrid system rewrites the rules of off-roading, how this machine can do things no Land Cruiser has ever done, including crossing an actual river using propellers. And yes, you're going to see it happen. And finally, whether Toyota's 60-year fortress in the desert can survive the assault. Because here's the thing you need to understand before we start. If China wins here, in the hardest, most loyal market on the planet, it can win anywhere. Let's get into it. To understand how bold this move is, you need to understand what the Middle East means to Toyota. In the Gulf, the Land Cruiser is not just a car. It is part of the culture for over 60 years. It has been the vehicle of the desert, the machine that families trust with their lives, when the nearest town is 300 kilometers of sand away. Its reputation was not built by marketing campaigns or football sponsorships. It was built by survival. Every family has a story. The Land Cruiser that never broke down, the one that crossed the empty quarter, the one that outlived 3 owners and 500,000 kilometers and was still worth serious money when it was finally sold. And alongside it stands the Nissan Patrol, the other king of the dunes. Between them, these two machines have turned the Gulf into the most loyal 444 market on earth. Loyalty there is measured in generations, not in model years. Buyers do not experiment. They do not gamble. When your life depends on your vehicle in the desert, you buy what your father bought. And your father bought what his father bought. That is exactly why every previous challenger has failed. The Americans came with big V8s and bigger marketing budgets. The Fortress held. The Europeans came with luxury and technology. And the Land Rover Defender, for all its brilliance, never came close to threatening the throne. The Fortress held. Even other Japanese brands, with the same reputation for reliability, tried to take a piece of this market. The Fortress held. Because in this market, horsepower means nothing without trust. And trust takes decades to earn, and one summer to lose. So why would Chery, of all companies, choose this exact battlefield? Here's a question for you, and I genuinely want to know your theory. So drop it in the comments as we go. Why attack the strongest fortress first instead of the weakest? The answer is that the calculation has changed. The Gulf has one of the youngest car-buying populations in the world. And this new generation grew up with Chinese smartphones in their pockets, Chinese drones in the sky, and Chinese electric cars humiliating established brands on specification, technology, and price. For their fathers, made in China meant compromise. For them, it means innovation. And there's a second reason, a colder one, prestige. Winning in the Gulf is not just about sales figures. It is the ultimate advertisement to the entire planet. Beat the Land Cruiser at home, and every market on Earth opens its doors. Chery believes the wall around the fortress has a crack in it, and the G700 Top Fire is the weapon designed to break through. But to have any chance at all against a legend, this machine cannot simply be good. It cannot even be great. It has to be extraordinary. So let's tear it apart and see what's actually underneath. Strip away the badges, and the Jetour G700 is one of the most technically ambitious off-roaders ever built. By anyone, anywhere, at any price. Let's start with the foundations, because this is where most challengers get it wrong. This is a proper body-on-frame SUV, a real ladder chassis, the same fundamental architecture as the Land Cruiser and the Patrol. Not a unibody crossover pretending to be tough. At almost 5.2 meters long, over 2 meters wide, and nearly 2 meters tall, it sits firmly in full-size territory, with seating for 6 or 7 depending on configuration. This matters enormously, Katave, because it means Chery is not fighting the Desert Kings with a soft compromise. It is fighting them with the same species of machine, and then stacking 20 years of technology on top of it. Under the bonnet sits a 2.0-liter turbocharged petrol engine, mounted longitudinally like a proper off-roader. On its own, nothing remarkable, 155 kilowatts, decent but ordinary. But it doesn't work alone. It is joined by 2 electric motors, one driving the front axle, one driving the rear, connected through a dedicated 2-speed hybrid transmission built specifically for this platform. And when everything works together, the combined output is staggering. 904 horsepower and 1,135 Newton-meters of torque. Let that sink in for a second. The most powerful Land Cruiser you can buy today produces less than half of that. Less than half. And in the dunes, torque is everything. Instant, electric, delivered from 0 RPM. It is the difference between climbing a dune face and being swallowed by it. But here's what separates this from a simple horsepower war. The G700 also has 3 locking differentials, front, center, and rear, which is the holy trinity of serious off-roading, something even many Land Cruiser variants don't offer as standard. The hybrid system gives you around 100 kilometers of pure electric range, total silence in the city, 0 fuel burned on the school run, and with the petrol engine and a full tank, total combined range approaches 1,400 kilometers. Now think about the desert, where petrol stations are a rumor and distance is the real enemy. That number is not a luxury, it is survival. And there's more. The G700 works as a giant mobile power bank. Vehicle-to-load technology means it can run your camp, lights, fridges, equipment in the middle of absolutely nowhere. The desert lifestyle that Gulf buyers love, powered by the car itself. And then, there is the party trick, the moment that made this car world famous. Because Jetour did something no Land Cruiser, no Patrol, no Defender, no Wrangler has ever even attempted. They fitted the G700 with deployable propellers and drove it across a river. And I don't mean a shallow stream. The machine completed a crossing of 1.5 kilometers across the Yangtze, one of the largest rivers in Asia, floating and propelling itself through open water like a boat. Look at these images. Look at them. This is a production-based, full-size SUV, swimming. Now, is it a gimmick? Perhaps. Will you ever cross a river on your way to the shops? Probably not. But you're missing the point if you stop there. Think about what this demonstrates. The body sealing, the electrical protection, The engineering margins? The sheer confidence of a company that builds a car capable of this and then films it for the world to see, when a machine can swim across the Yangtze. Wading through a flooded wadi after a desert storm sounds like a morning warm-up. That is the base car. Extraordinary already, but now Chery has taken all of that and tuned it specifically for war on Toyota's home turf. Here is where the Top Fire version becomes genuinely dangerous for the competition. In the Gulf, there is a massive culture of modifying off-roaders. Walk through Dubai or Riyadh, and you will see it everywhere. Land cruisers and patrols, transformed with aftermarket suspension, desert tires, reinforced bumpers, snorkels, cooling upgrades. Owners spend fortunes, sometimes half the price of the car again. Because the standard machines, as tough as they are, were never fully optimized for extreme dune driving. And every one of those modifications carries a risk. Voided warranties, mismatched parts, backyard engineering. Chery studied that culture carefully and made a ruthless decision. We will do all of it in the factory. Every upgrade, every component, and we will warranty every single bolt. The numbers tell the story. The Top Fire adds 33 new chassis components over the standard G700. 33. This is not a sticker package. It is a re-engineering program. The suspension is upgraded to Cayman race-grade nitrogen shock absorbers. Genuine competition hardware, the kind of equipment you find on desert racing machines, with 8 levels of adjustable damping. 8. That means the same vehicle can glide over broken city tarmac on Monday morning and attack dune faces at full speed on Friday afternoon, just by changing a setting. The off-road geometry is deadly serious. A 35-degree approach angle, 29 degrees of departure, 24 degrees of breakover, and a wading depth of 950 millimeters, nearly a full meter of water. And here is the sentence that should echo in Toyota's boardroom. Those figures beat the current Land Cruiser on every single measurement. Then there is the heat. The silent killer of machines in the Gulf, 50 degrees in the shade, sand radiating like an oven, engines and electronics pushed to their limits for hours. The Top Fire answers with a fully ventilated bonnet featuring multiple air intakes and exhaust points, engineered specifically to purge heat during hard off-road driving in extreme summer temperatures. The wheels are forged from aerospace-grade material, lighter, stronger, and dramatically more resistant to the brutal heat coming off the sand. Around them sit custom Atlas all-terrain tires, developed for precisely the surfaces this car will live on. Soft sand and sharp gravel. And Chery even engineered the lifestyle. The roof rack is rated for 300 kilograms static, enough for a full rooftop camping setup. The front and rear bumpers come pre-configured for a winch crossmember and recovery equipment, ready for accessories without cutting or welding. In other words, everything the hardcore desert driver normally spends months and thousands of dollars assembling from 5 different suppliers. Delivered in one piece, from one factory, with one warranty. And that is the real threat to Toyota. Not the horsepower, not even the propellers, the completeness. So, the ultimate question. Can this machine actually break a 60-year fortress? Let's be brutally honest about both sides, because this channel doesn't do fairy tales. The obstacles facing Chery are enormous. Trust in the desert is generational, and no specification sheet, however spectacular, can replace 60 years of proof. The Land Cruiser's service network in the Gulf is legendary. Parts available in every town, mechanics who know the car blindfolded, and resale values that treat the Toyota badge like gold in the bank. A complex 904 horsepower hybrid, however brilliant, still has to prove it can survive 10 summers of sand, dust, and 50-degree heat, with the air conditioning running at maximum every single day. And the margin for error is zero. One highly public failure in the dunes, one viral video of a stranded G700 being towed by a Land Cruiser, and the dream dies overnight. But now look at what Chery brings to the fight. A machine that, on paper, outguns the Land Cruiser in power, torque, technology, equipment, and off-road geometry. Likely at a price that significantly undercuts it, a hybrid system that turns the desert's greatest enemy, distance, into a solved problem, a factory-tuned desert specification that no established rival currently offers at any price. And a generation of young Gulf buyers who are more open to Chinese engineering than any generation in history. Toyota has watched challengers come and go for 60 years, and it has beaten every single one of them, but it has never faced a challenger like this, because every previous rival attacked the Land Cruiser's weaknesses: price, luxury, image. This is the first challenger in history that attacks the Land Cruiser's actual strengths: capability, range, durability engineering, and desert readiness. Straight from the factory. That is a fundamentally different kind of war. And remember what this really is. The Middle East is the final exam of the car world. If Chinese engineering can win loyalty in the one market where loyalty is hardest to win, the message to every car maker on the planet is deafening. Nowhere is safe anymore. Not the desert. Not anywhere. The propellers were never about crossing rivers. They were a message. This company will go anywhere. So now I want to know what you think. And I read every comment. If you had both sets of keys in your hand right now, a brand new Land Cruiser, backed by 60 years of legend, or the 904 horsepower Jetour G700 Top Fire, backed by the most aggressive engineering push in modern history, which one would you take deep into the desert, where there is no rescue and no second chance? Drop your answer below, Land Cruiser or G700, and tell me why. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe and turn on notifications, because the Chinese invasion of the car world is only just beginning, and the next battle is already loading.